What's going on, fellas and ladies? If you're watching, it's your main man, Kellyanne, and we are here about to get into another episode of Social Dynamics 101. Today's episode, do looks really matter? We'll be right back. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Kellyanne back at you one more time with this month's viewer question. As you know, every month we take a question from a viewer and answer it. This month's question comes from a young man out of Belleville, Illinois. So for the sake of privacy, I do not give out guest names at all because, rude. So he asked me, he says, Kellyanne, I have trouble with self-esteem. And I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I'm not really that fit. But I see guys who look like me all the time with good-looking women. I just don't get it. I just have the hardest time. So, do looks really matter? How much do they matter? And this is absolutely a good question, young man. Thank you so much for putting that in. Questions about your face, your body, your personality. And my mother used to always say, son, a person can be really good-looking and still be really ugly. So the short answer is yes, looks do matter, but let me explain in a little more detail because they really do make a big difference. Now, in another video, we discussed a subject called pre-selection. And this is important, not only for the person you're pursuing, but also being pursued. So do yourself a solid and never settle. That's number one. Do you think you're attractive? Believe it or not, I don't think I'm even cute, personally. But apparently, quite a few women find me very attractive. I grew up with a really good-looking older brother, and girls always liked him. I mean, the type of guy that women just flocked to. So I've always thought of myself as kind of the plain Jane of the family. So personally, I cultivated other aspects of my personality to make myself more attractive. I spend a lot of time in the gym because it makes me feel more attractive, especially working in an industry of film and theater that can be so demanding and so absolutely shallow. In this business, particularly in America, looks are huge. I mean, you can have people who are terrible actors, but look really good, and that's why they get cast all the time. Over the years, I've learned to accept who I am and accept the way that I look. I've learned to accept the fact that I've got chipped teeth, like 3 of them in the front of my mouth. But you know what? That adds to my charm. I've learned to accept the fact that I've got big cheeks. God, I hated my cheeks. You know, I was out with my dad one time and he said, son, big cheeks are sexy. So I've had to embrace it. Facts. You should never change who you are in order to be considered attractive by someone else. There's nothing wrong if people want to enhance their features. Want a nose job? Get a nose job. Eyebrow lift, I don't know, threading, sometimes medical things are necessary, but the point is you should never try to change the person you are inside. Location is another really big point. I mean, while it's true that we all want to be with someone we find attractive and we find ourselves attracted to, what is considered handsome and good looking in one city or country is not necessarily handsome or attractive in another area. Like right now, for example, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm not really considered the most handsome guy. But if you take me to the East Coast, Colombia, Zambia, Paris, the Caribbean, and any number of other places, all of a sudden my value goes up because in those places I'm considered good looking. But maybe where you live and the places you visited, you may have experienced the same scenario as I did. Or maybe the issue could very well be where you're at. And you may need to take yourself to a place where the idea of handsome is completely different than where you are. Because where I live, for example, I'm an entertainer, an actor. I live in a community that has a high Latino and Caucasian population, so the standard is a bit different. A dear friend of mine in London, her name is Shevin. For those of you who don't know, I was raised in Great Britain, American raised in England. She said to me, she said, Kellyanne, you are painfully handsome. You would do great in England because you do very well out here. Well, it's the same thing when I go to places like Atlanta. It's all about what is acceptable in that location and what type they're looking for. So that's another key. And as I've said before, if you want to get most out of your Mickey Mantle baseball card, you don't sell it in Idaho. Another point that you made is you said you see a lot of women dating guys who look like you, and you don't know why. And there's a couple of reasons here. Number one, the biggest thing is confidence. Women can smell confidence like a dog can smell a stink. If you are unconfident or inconfident, subconfident, whatever, if you don't have confidence, you're never gonna walk up. You don't know if she likes you or not. I told a story about a model that I was interested in one time, and I had met her at a couple of events, and I never knew that she was into me, but I was too afraid to say anything to her. We finally wound up meeting at a mutual friend's baby shower, and she was like, Kalyan, I liked you from the moment I saw you. But I never would have said anything because I thought I wasn't good looking enough. So that's a really good key, is your level of confidence. Let's step that up. Another point here is that women are prone to dating men who you might not seem as attractive as they should be. There's a couple of reasons for this. One of them is that women are more concerned with financial security, faithfulness, stability, your personality, and men, we are visual creatures. One of the first things a woman's friends asks her when they find out she's dating a new guy is, what does he do? One of the first things you ask your friends when you find out they're dating a new girl is what? What's she look like? No woman wants to be with a man who thinks that he's prettier than she is. If you're spending more time in the mirror than she is, this is a problem, honestly. There's a ruggedness to a man that adds to his masculine charms. So it's important to work on your personality. Now maybe for you, it's not that you're not good looking, maybe it's just that you need to work on other aspects of yourself to make yourself more attractive. If something's not working for you, keep reinventing yourself over and over again until you're happy with you. Now just don't go crazy. When it comes to the male physique, some guys think that they have to be ripped and super fit and really muscular to be considered attractive. This again is a fallacy. Now personally, as I said before, I spend a lot of time in the gym. I'm super strong, but I am nowhere near cut, nor have I ever been. That's a diet thing, and I like pie too much. This is all about preference on both sides. Some like that toned beach body model physique, and some don't. Many like someone with a great personality. Some like a shape that's skinny, some like a shape that's big, some like a person that's tall or short. In essence, no one's limited to a specific race or even culture or even physique. I myself am what I would call an EOL. That's an equal opportunity lover. I've dated women who are 4'9", I've dated women who are 6'3", I've dated women who are a little more corpulent and who are really skinny. I've dated women who are curvy like va-va-voom and women who just are more athletic and look like volleyball players. As I said, I'm really into fitness, so I'm an advocate for being healthy. So if you're overweight, please do your best to keep yourself healthy and in shape, not because you want to be with someone, but because you want to live a longer, healthier life. We don't want you to end up in the doctors with sleep apnea or type 2 diabetes. If you look in the mirror and you say, you know, I don't find myself physically attractive, you can change that. It's a matter of dropping the weight. Set out your workouts. If it's a matter of setting goals to achieve your desired look, don't let anything stop you. If it's a matter of you wanting to change your diet, stick to it. Gentlemen, I am convinced that nothing is impossible. Any woman you want, you can get. You can do all things with the right mindset and the right motivation. If you have other male friends to go lift heavier things with, join them. If you enjoy hiking, go do that. You might meet your Cinderella on the top of a mountain or something like that. Basketball, mountain climbing, canoeing, whatever activity you enjoy doing, set some time for yourself to get out and be active. Believe me, you'll feel better about yourself and you never know who you might meet. So, do looks matter? Yes. No one wants to be with someone they don't find attractive. The downside about us men is that we'll date women who are certified beeps. You like how I added that on beep in there? Just because she's sexy. Find substance and value in yourself and for who you are. Remember, you should have a standard too. I want you to know that you are handsome, charming, and confident. I want you to look in the mirror and say, Zorro, you look better than ever. If you have a problem with your face, if you haven't already, try different looks. For me, losing a little bit of weight made a difference. If you're looking to gain a few extra pounds there, you can definitely do that as well. Finding a style that's suitable for your liking, try that. Change your clothes, shave your facial hair, do whatever you can to see what works best for you. In fact, as you've been watching these programs, you see me in various different looks. I mean, most of the time I'm prepping for a role, but I'm always changing. Sometimes I'm in a suit, sometimes I'm in a t-shirt, sometimes I'm sporting. Don't worry about who this brand is. You've seen me bold, you've seen me with a goatee. Personally, I enjoy trying new things, and each new thing I do changes my look. But in the end, I'm happy and confident with who I am. I want to end with this. There's a song that I really like from The Temptations. Doom, 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 doom. It's called Beauty's Only Skin Deep. Eventually, your looks are gonna fade. Your features and your body will change. Gravity always wins. You may never lose some of the weight. You may lose all of your muscles and definition, But in reality, it comes with age. The only thing that really maintains and sustains is the heart of a man. And once you've got that on lock, everything else sort of comes with it. This is Cali On, and we'll see you next time.